Right, so first podcast of the Dubai edition 2. We've got the double whammy with Cam and Hannah on this morning. This is Hannah's first podcast and she's a little bit nervous, but I'm pretty sure that in 5 minutes she'll just be rattling on about everything.
Won't be able to shut her up.
Yeah, so obviously since I've worked with a little bit with Hannah before, but most of the time it's obviously been focused on kind of Cam because Hannah's had like a lot of kind of competitive commitments and she's a little bit more relaxed in that sense. And I actually do want to talk about that today, as like I say, it's her right to what at one point to be thinking, right, push business, but then sometimes it's her right to come in and go like, look, I'm going to take a bit of a step back. Yeah. And it's like, for example, you've gone through that little bit of a period now, but now it's a case of coming and going, right, what do I want to do next? So since obviously the last time with Cam in Dubai, he's now got a additional coach. He's obviously kind of Max himself. James is on like 25-30 clients, probably end of this, what is it, February now, probably end of this month.
Yeah.
So in a very short space of time, he's obviously built out a referral to a kind of coach very, very quickly, as well as launching the Get Conditioned, like basically like a fat loss kind of challenge style thing. But in essence, we're probably going to be looking at about 89 kind of client, 80 to 90 client intake on that, as well as releasing the Team Conditioned members space, the free community space. So basically, Cam's been very, very, very busy and is in a great position. And Hannah's going to get a rocket up her arse after this to get straight into it. So what I kind of wanted to do this morning was dive into like a bit of a specific topic. So obviously we've got two competitors, or one part-time competitor.
Yeah, I'm a part-timer. I really am.
But obviously Cam stays in decent condition and stuff pretty much all of the time anyway. But Hannah's obviously really kind of attacked it last year, to say the least. Couldn't actually believe how long she was prepping for.
Oh, mate, me neither.
Yeah. It was like the easiest prep I've done though.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
How long
was it?
I
got that lean. I'm sure it was like 17 weeks. It was.
No, that was for the first. That was for the first show, and then you went show to show. So it's probably closer to like a total 25-week prep. Yeah.
20. But
25.
I didn't feel hungry. I didn't feel tired. I think.
But I do think, it's like, obviously you're probably going to touch on this, but I do think the reason why you say, it was such an easy prep, it's like when that goal is that strong, you can almost do anything to get yourself there, can't you? I think that's probably why and where the ease came from more than anything. Like, it was hard. You were peeled to the bone. That's hard to do.
I remember. I remember just messaging Cam like, Jesus Christ!
Honestly, God, I've never seen a female.
I didn't know that lean, did I?
I've never seen a female so lean.
When they're on prep, but
I was like, I bet that apartment's a barrel of laughs at the moment.
Yeah, literally.
I understand. Have you got a walking treadmill in?
We do.
Oh yeah. That was getting hammered.
Yeah,
walking treadmill getting hammered. Yeah.
But yeah, so that actually rolls us on to the topic of today, and it's like, right, so you've obviously got two people here. Not only are they in a relationship, they've done numerous preps together, and it's a case of like the pros and cons associated with that. So as we were kind of discussing before we came on, like Hannah hit a real big peak at the end of her kind of competitive kind of phase after that fucking 25-week diet. I can't even diet 24 hours. But for example, like after that 20-week period, but then what you've got is you've got this kind of double-edged sword, because you've got a massive engagement, and obviously it's great because you're basically highlighting what you want to offer as a company through your own physique, but also you are in the absolute dog end of how you feel kind of mentally. Yeah. So for example, my questions today is, right, so if you're coming in and obviously your client base is increasing, you're going into the depths of prep, how the fuck do you handle that and still maintain a good quality service?
So how do you handle business and prep, basically, when you're like struggling with routine is everything, to be honest. Like if you don't have a routine, you could just sit around all day and like do nothing. Like it is hard. I tend to get my training done in the morning, and then I've got like the rest of the day to like focus on other important things, because then I don't have to think about that.
Yeah.
But
no, go on.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I think that when you're dieting as well, or especially when you're on prep, people don't understand how productive you can become with your time. Like, you can be so segmented with everything that you do, because you're like, this meal's got to be in at this time, this training this time, cardio like this time. A time
slot, doesn't it, really? Like I would literally sit and plan out my day like hour by hour in my notebook.
And then that makes client work very productive as well. And it's quite nice having for me, for a part-timer anyway, it's quite nice having like a step away from like the actual bodybuilding and the prep by working with clients and with other people. So you put a lot of focus into that to like give yourself something to do.
It's also motivating working with people who are like changing their lives, and chasing their goals, because it keeps you in that mindset, doesn't it? Really, like everyone else is motivated because you are. And yeah, I feel like getting the important things done. Like my brain fuel is like best in the morning, so I'll get up really early. If I do most of my important work at that time, that's gives me time to like nap during the day, or like in the back
chill out a bit.
You're the same, like we just pass out by the afternoon.
Yeah.
So doing
morning people.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a morning person. I think you can go either way with it. Like for example, like obviously routine massive. Like for me, like I handle so much because I handle so much routine, but I'm also a sense of, if I basically, when I used to kind of do bodybuilding, photo shoots and physiques and stuff like that, like because I was so obsessive with the business side and my routine and everything all combined, like for me, I was always working towards a blowout, and obviously you two don't do that, but for me it's like, since I kind of transitioned from that into more of like the endurance stuff, because I just wanted to kind of just set a new challenge, like I've enjoyed it more because I've got loads of energy because I feel fit as fuck all the time. I'm eating loads and I've got that kind of freedom, and I think that's really important for like you've got to understand that, look, if you're going to go into a kind of bodybuilding prep or like any type of photo shoot or something like that, like it can't happen where you just sack your business off or you sack your clients off.
No way, yeah.
When I first tried to do it, it did suffer a little bit, I'd say. Like, I would notice my check-in responses being, like, shorter and shorter. So, but I needed that to realise I can't prep and be a good coach at the same time, so something had to change, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
have you ever, like, turned around and said, like, I think it's communication as well, like, because a lot of the time, leads and clients will come to you because of your bodybuilding prep, which I'm going to talk about in a second anyway. So for example, if you're coming in and you're like, right, I've got 3 weeks now where you know you're going to be dropping your food low, you know you're going to be dropping like everything with cardio kind of up and absolutely hammering yourself, then what you need to do is just literally be transparent with your clients and just literally turn around and say like, look, I'm feeling shit. And but because it's one of them ones, it's when you're like, right, I'm just giving out a normal service and you're pretending everything's alright, that's where people are just like, well, fucking, like what are you doing? Like you're literally putting
what do you
no
expect
effort
kind of thing.
But if you've obviously set the tone and said like, look, just expect that, look, I am going to be like kind of
for a short period of time.
And it's the same as anything. It's like, for example, for me, when I come on, when I've obviously come away to Dubai this week with consultancy clients, the first thing I did is I was like, right, this week, guys, I'm not going to be able to reply really fast. I'm not going to be able to kind of get on calls. And just basically set that tone, because it's the unknown where people are like, right, fucking hell, he's just sat me off and he's not even bothered.
Why is he not replying?
But
I would be like that as well. I've had that experience from a coach as well before, and it pissed me off. So I feel like having that as well makes you realise I don't want to be that person.
Set the standard kind of thing.
I've been so lucky with my clients though, like, because they followed my journey for so long, like the ones that sign up, they're always like, I've followed you since you first got on stage. So when they know, I tell them personally I'm on prep. Like the prep I did last year, I didn't really put it on social media, but most of my clients knew, didn't they? I would say like, I am doing this show, and I feel like they kind of appreciated that I filled them in like that.
They had a good understanding of the process. Even
though they didn't really know much about the show dates and stuff, if they seen that I was like, when I competed in Spain, they would text me like, don't worry about replying to this, I know you're competing this weekend. I'm like, oh my god, don't be silly. Like, but that was, I just feel like I've been blessed with clients like that.
Well, that's where you can use that's where you can come in and actually use your journey rather than abuse it. So for example, like especially with like the membership bases that we built for like Cam and James at the moment, it's like you can be coming in and going, right, so you might not be as on it with in terms of the amount of effort that you put into check-ins and stuff like that, because I know when people, like, I see all the time where it's like you should put exact same effort, and I'm like, when you are dying out of your arse,
it's hard.
You can't, you just can't. And sometimes that's just what it's like. It's like being ill for the last 4 weeks of kind of a prep. You just you struggle to do anything. But if you're kind of coming in and using a platform like kind of what we're doing for Cam, where you're like, you're posting your updates, you're posting nutrition, posting how you're feeling, posting how you're dealing with it, your ups, your downs, then your client base and your audience are obviously bought into what you are doing. They're like, oh well, he might be absolutely on his arse at the moment, but I feel like I'm part of it. And that's I think that's one of the biggest things that, say for example, if you are a physique competitor or a photo shoot, or even if you're in endurance or whatever you're doing, it's like, it's getting people bought into what you're doing for the longevity of it. Because like one person who I say is absolutely nailed that would be like AJ Morris.
100%.
Like since we were 14 years old, or I think it's the same age as me, AJ, I'm not sure, but since like 14 he's just been like natural bodybuilding, deadlift video, do you know what I mean? But it's like people have obviously bought into that from when he first started, and look at him now and go, look at his business, look at his physique, look at the credibility, look at the authority he's got. And that's just literally because he was like, right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to take people on a journey.
Yeah, it's like people wait for his next post, or people wait for the next update in that sense, and that buy-in from like a journey perspective is massive when it comes to clients.
Sorry, I keep butting in.
No, go on, talk away.
Shows like our real life, doesn't it? I feel like I've struggled with like being open about my journey, mainly because obviously anyone that knows me knows I change coaches all the time. So I feel like me posting my updates, I feel like, I don't know, I just get nervous about doing it because I just can't be asked with the hate.
No, I don't think. To be fair, like I understand the argument that people have in terms of you should stay with the same coach because they get to know them. But I would say that I have learned more about coaching from working with a lot of different coaches.
Exactly.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's like, for me, it's like. There's pros and cons to it. I understand where people are coming from, but I also think that it's like literally, like for example, there might be a certain point soon where what I do with Cam is maxed out, and it's like, right, Cam needs to go and find someone else in a different sector to find out information that I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that's all I fucking do. It's like, like when I was coaching, I was like, right, what new coach can I get? What new mentor can I get? Or for now, it's like, what new staff can I hire? So that I can learn off them. So if you are a person like who, again, I agree with Hannah on that side. Like, I think that staying with the same coach, you're going to get great results long term, but also you're only going to learn what that person knows.
I'm a curious person, aren't I?
Definitely,
What is that method like? How will I respond to that method? And I feel like, it is hard. I completely agree. I probably would have made more progress if I stayed with the same coach from the beginning, but sometimes I just don't enjoy it anymore, and I'm not going to say somewhere that I don't like just for the sake of someone on Instagram saying, "Oh, you've changed coach again." Like, I can't be arsed with that. Like, you've got to be selfish at the end of the day.
It's alright chopping it, like, in my opinion, like, don't get me wrong, not every few months, like let's just say over the course of 5 or 6 years you work with a few different coaches, like, I don't see any problem with that, but if you want to be successful in business, you can't be chopping and changing your own fitness journey.
No.
Yeah.
So I've worked with quite a few clients in the last year who's gone, right, bodybuilding, I'm going to suddenly do CrossFit, I'm going to suddenly do highway. And I'm like, don't fucking do that, because you've just built 20,000 followers or whatever 1,000 followers based on your physique journey, and now you're coming in doing backflips over a box jump, and it's and people are like, well, I'm not that bothered about following this person anymore. And if you're still offering physique coaching, but you're doing hybrid stuff into your journey, there's a direct crossover. So people are just like, right, well, why would I buy into him now? Is he a hybrid athlete? Is he a CrossFit coach? Or is he still doing bodybuilding physique? It's like, right, your language, your energy, your program, your offer, your service, your fitness journey all needs to be aligned into fucking one place. And if you can align that to your client base and align that to your audience, and you'll make sure your target market is absolutely bang on, then that's when you can do exactly the same as what Cam and Hannah have done here, where they build the fucking business just based on how they look and how they train. Yeah. Because that's in essence what it comes down to.
It's hard when people ask that question, how did you build the business like that? What did you do? Where did like the clients come from and stuff like that? It's almost like it's hard to just answer with, I just like sort of documented my own journey, but at the same time it's like that genuinely is the best piece of advice I can give you. Like, no 50 DMs a day and VAs and all, like that's it didn't start with that. It started with just documenting a journey that people actually quite liked following, and then they wanted to, how did you do that? How have you done that? How have you got yourself there?
Where you started compared to where you are now, obviously in terms of your physique and your business, like people have seen Cam, who've known him for years, who've seen him be like a PT in Pure Gym, doing a legs, bums and tums class, like,
literally.
And now
imagine me doing that, legs, bums, tums.
I still get this picture pop up on Facebook where it's me stood in like a leisure centre with kettlebells and dumbbells and a sled.
Honestly, yeah.
And I'm looking back,
I can't imagine it.
Like, it's mental. It is crazy. I think you've got to do that sometimes, because especially for someone like Cam's like very similar to me in terms of a sense of, is like go, whereas Stacey is very, very similar to Hannah, where it's like stop, relax, think a little bit logical. Do you need to go and spend all that money? Is he like, do you know what I mean? It's a case of, and I think that's why obviously your relationship's really, really good. And I know it's similar to mine and Stacey's, because I have to live in this marriage. But it's a case of like, I think that's another thing I want to talk about today, is like, look, how do you actually come in and balance business, physiques, preps and stuff in a relationship? Like, I'm looking like, I've done preps and stuff while I've been with Stacey. I'm obviously doing this 1,000 mile cycle now, and I think it really kind of comes down to like do you know what? I think this is a question because when I'm on prep and when I was dieting, I was in a foul mood. Right, and it's hard to check. And for example, now I'm erect, I'm smashing about 7,000 calories a day and losing weight because I'm cycling all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like when I was dieting, I was in a foul mood, and when I was obviously on assistance, and when you're throwing in test mass tren as well as like 1,600 calories an hour's cardio a day. Like, especially when you're a bit loopy anyway, like it's like it weren't a good concoction. Like when you're like obviously doing shoots and competing and stuff, and it's like whoever you're with at that time, I think there needs to be a mutual understanding. Like, I am not going to be myself over this next period of time.
Yeah, you take it out on the person you're around all day. Like, we don't have our family out here, do we? Obviously, so he literally gets all of my mood swings. You say, "Oh, I'm not bad on prep," but you were.
Yeah, I am. I'm bad.
But I understood it because I was just as bad. Like I would go. Sometimes I go days without speaking.
You just got. It's like you say, it's communication, understanding, and stuff like that. But at the same time, with us anyway, I think it's quite a nice, like, honest to God, I reckon if Hannah wasn't in the house, there'd be days where I'd just forget to eat, and I literally wouldn't walk away from my computer and things like that. And it's like, the grind and getting it all done sounds like a good thing, but you could just burn out in a couple of days, and if I didn't have someone to pull me away from it at times, it's
hard because I feel like I should always be working. When I'm around Cam, I like reading my books a lot. I try and sit on the sofa and relax, and I've got him going, "Yes, mate, this week, check in." Like, I'm like, "Oh, fucking hell, just give it a rest."
I don't show, man.
Stacey is exactly the same as that. Like, and I do sometimes feel bad about it. Like,
honest, same.
Because
I do,
because it's almost like it's not normal behaviour. Like, it's not.
This is what I say. Like
a lot of people have hobbies and they go out and enjoy like calm time. Like if it's like say for example we get to an afternoon, there's nothing planned. I'm sat there like.
Yeah, literally.
I'm like, what we're gonna do? Stacey's like nothing. I'm like, what do you mean nothing?
Yeah.
Like,
he says,
literally.
I was like,
that is literally me.
Well, that doesn't sound productive.
You said you don't do check-ins on a Saturday, but you do something.
I will work all day Saturday.
Where he doesn't do anything, but I'm the same now. Like, obviously, before I met Cam, I was doing nursing, so I really valued my days off. Like, I did nothing, or I'd like go to the gym. I'd have like my me time, and then. When I saw you being able to stay at home when I had to go to work, I was like, fucking idiot. So then I obviously got into coaching, saw what you were doing with clients and stuff, and I was like, I want to do that. Like, I got questions asked about coaching even before I was a coach, so I was like, right, I've got to do it. But we do struggle to switch off, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And he's got a standing desk now, which means he never sits with me on the sofa.
I never sit down. I never sit down, standing desk.
No way.
And I stand there.
I bought one of them, 600 quid or something like last year, and didn't use it once.
I use it, but
it's in my office at home now because I've obviously got office space.
My plan was, right, if I'm stood up, I'll be more productive, and it'll mean I'll want to like get the things done and then go and sit down. But the issue I've had is,
I can't even process it.
I don't sit down.
I've got about 15 screens around with it or something. It's hard for me to navigate because I'm processing.
That's why I've never seen your legs before.
Yeah, literally.
Oh yeah,
I sat down.
That after last, because basically I remember
that was funny.
We were on a call and I stood up and just turned. I think Jack saw a dog at the door or something.
Yeah, you went to close the door and Ben walked off and we were like, I've never seen Ben's legs before.
Like, not stood up for about 20 hours.
I was like. I think that's going to turn around. I thought, what am I doing here? I was sad. But the thing is, there was a period last year where it was just like it was me managing about 30 businesses at that point, and it was just me though because I was doing fucking everything, setups, the calls, the stuff in between, the planning, and I was like I was working at a disgustingly unhealthy level at that point. And I remember even being on calls with Cam, and Cam was like, you're not good, mate. And I
remember he wrote one of your post-it notes once, and then he put it like, and I was like, where are you putting that? And he was like, I'll put my post-it notes around my computer. He sent me a picture. I couldn't see his fucking computer because there was about 1 million post-it notes, and then just the screen in the middle.
Yeah, I really knew like what you were like in terms of like business and how like structured you are. I'd listen to your calls, and you'd be like, right, see you later. That's it at the end of it, and I was like,
he just gets off.
I'm not
and
I'm
then
not
like
a small
1 minute
talk
later,
type
you'd be on another call. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not simple, by the way, with Post-it notes. It's the fact that I basically process all my stuff on Monday.com. So like, I remember like last year I checked the amount of lists I had on there, and it was like 5,000 or something like that across all different companies. And I was like, and this is obviously my own stuff. I was launching CP Education kind of academy, doing the convention, doing everything all at the same time, and we were like, well, I was just like, this is just way too much. And that was kind of the push to the shove where I was like, I did exactly the same as what I did when I got to coaching. I was like, I'm at my max now. Where else can I go other than fucking myself over with even less time? So that's what I was speaking to Cam about earlier in terms of like, look, you can come in and we had this podcast, this is what we spoke about in the last Dubai one. It was like, where can you go from here? Like once you got up to max kind of capacity and max kind of high ticket price, it gets really boring because you're doing the same thing over and over again. You've got no freedom. Whereas like for now, I've obviously got my own office space, and I was even Ben Bray like last night. I was like, because obviously he's used to me doing 7 days a week, 10 hours on a computer. And he was like, what do you do now? I said, I go into office on a Monday and I start at 9 o'clock and I finish at 5 o'clock, 5 days a week.
Yeah, we need that, I think.
Yeah, that's mad to hear from you,
mate. Honestly, because I don't need to now, because I've got 50. Well, there's about 20 staff now.
Yeah.
So it's like with CP Education, I've got everyone who's trained and knows what we're doing on that side. I've got Rob as a managing director. With the coach consultant, we're now offering 10 times more than what I used to do on my own. But it means that the job that I do requires more thought process and actual thinking rather than hammering myself on everything. So like for me with the coach consultant, like my profit margins are much less. I wouldn't even know what my wage bill is per month, circa 30 grand. I wouldn't even know. Something stupid like that. I try to not even look at it, Stacey sort of said. Right? But for me, it's like I'd rather come in and pay people good money to do a great job, to give a great service.
Yeah.
And
it's like when people say to me, oh, what's mentoring like with Ben? What's the consultancy like with Ben? Yeah, it's absolutely class. That's why I'm still here, kind of thing. And he's like, what's Ben like about this? I'm like, I don't talk to Ben about that. I talk to Rob about that.
Yeah.
Or what's Ben like with this? I don't talk to Ben about that. I talk to Amy about that.
The most
like
impressive business model.
I barely talk to Ben anymore, to be honest. I just fucking talk to everyone else.
No, that's because
it is crazy.
Because it was like when I did it, I was like, there's stuff similar out there, and there's group models, and there's one-to-one mentoring and stuff like that. But I was like, these guys, like people like Cam, for example, this whole podcast here is like the work-life balance, right? Now imagine Cam with this many clients, managing James as a coach, and then he's got a prep. Where the fuck is he going to have time to manage paid media, email marketing, his community platform, his social media?
And the reason I never managed to do any of that is because like I was trying to juggle so many things at once that I couldn't do it, whereas now I've actually got time to not even do it myself, but converse with people who can help me do it on the team. Like it's so much better.
I like with your how you do it with your clients. Like you have like quality of life at like as a priority as well. Like you want their business to be the best it ever has, but also not burn themselves out, because obviously you know what it feels like to be burnt out.
Yeah, it's like when you said to Hannah before, it's like, what do you want? Not like let's just grow like crazy kind of thing. Like, no, but what do you actually want?
I find it hard when that's all you want to do.
Yeah, that's where we differ.
I do. Sometimes I'm in tears after he gets off a call. I'm like crying. So I'm like, why do I feel like I'm doing so shit? Like, and that's when I'm like, I need to do something. But I go through waves like that, don't I?
No, that's what relationships. But it's like, what I say is like, for example, Stacey, I could not run my businesses and I could not operate myself without Stacey, and it'll be exactly the same as that.
Yeah.
And it's like, for example, what you've got to take into account is, let's just say the roles were reversed, you were coming in and having all those clients, you'd hate it.
Yeah, I would.
So that's all you need to.
I don't know why I get weird about it.
It's like when she's like this and she gets a bit down to, I should be doing all this. My answer is like, I'm not normal. Like what I want is not normal. How much I work is not normal. Like the passion and drive I have to like make this the thing. I know it's not normal. It's not supposed to be normal, I guess. But like, it's not what you want. So you don't have to. For me, I want to like my whole purpose behind everything that I'm doing with this is like providing for the people closest to me, providing for loved ones, family, you, our future family. Like, I don't want you to have to do all of the work that I'm doing. That's like, let me take that burden on.
When it's ingrained in you, it becomes second nature.
Yeah, I can't help it now.
I enjoy like having my close knit of like girls that I can relate to and that I can just text as if they're my friend as well. Like I prefer that I don't want to build a massive business like you. I want to be part of it with my own like little bubble.
But it's like Stacey recently. She took herself out of all WhatsApp groups and put a work phone in because she basically got to the point where she was taking 3-4 days to reply to her mates. Whereas for me, like
that is, I don't even
But this is the difference. My mates know that I sometimes might not reply. My mates know that I won't. For example, it's a running joke. I don't take phone calls.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking stupid is that?
Just ignore it.
I don't take phone calls because because I'm so used to doing WhatsApp and Google Meet, and because I'm obviously weird anyway, I find it really strange taking phone calls. And for example, when someone rings me up, that phone call might go on for like 20-25 minutes. So like when my mates, like say for example Zoe, or I've even Morgan, I've done it to before, like they want to chat about something, I'll send them a Google Meet link. Because it's more natural. But that's just become second nature to me now. It's not like a casual process. And for me, I've got it all on one WhatsApp and everything in one place because I reply, but I don't put the same amount of effort into my friends as what Stacey will do. But my friends understand this is what I'm doing, and I'm still the guy who's going to be there bailing them out whenever they need it, or fucking supporting them. But they'll just like, it's like for example, don't sweat the small stuff. Like I don't sweat the small stuff, and that is sound. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like I think females in general think about those things a little bit more.
Definitely. But you're a lot more analytical about all the sort of little things and that than me. I've got my list of shit I need to do. I know what I need to do. Boom, I just go at it. Whereas, like you say, sweating the small stuff is probably the best way to word it.
No, I do. I feel like I bring you back to like earth.
Bring me.
You like push me to be better as well. Because if I take my hat off to Cam, because what you do is incredible, and I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today without Cam, because I would just be a nurse in Leeds, like staying in the same flat that we rented.
But it's like there'll have been times in the last 5 years where your shit's dipped and you've obviously come in the back.
He'll lose a client and he'll cry.
Genuine tears. I guess I am so focused on like the growth of it and that because everyone has a bad week or a bad month every now and again and stuff like that, and it don't go right. And I think if I was left to my own devices and my own thoughts through those periods of times, I'd be fucked up, mate. I struggle with
the up and down. That is business, though.
I'm exactly the same as that. I've got Simon and Anna in next, and because we're going to do a bit of a talk on the TMP stuff that I did. I started with TMP because of performance anxiety. Do
you know what? I think I'm developing a very strong level of performance anxiety I didn't even know it was called that, but I think that's probably what it is.
It's basically like that. So you've got general anxiety, which is obviously, I'm guessing most people know what anxiety is, but basically performance anxiety is where it's like if something goes wrong, or if you get not an objection, because most of the time for like people like me and Campbell, we're quite confident and we do have authority, but it's like when you're delivering, say for example if you're coming in and you're delivering something and it's like you're working with someone and like there might be a complaint or something might go wrong or someone might leave, that genuinely cripples me. It's like in business, say for example I'm working with 100 high performance businesses, 100 of them are not going to go perfectly all of the time, and my main objective is, and what I say to my team is, there's never a point where complaints come from things on our side. Sometimes they will do, but sometimes, for example, when I'm working with like a big high performance company and they're really busy, or a high performance coach, often it's their side letting it down, but it's projected onto our side. And I get that a lot, and that's one of the biggest things that I have with kind of consultants, because we offer so much and we do deliver, but sometimes it might be a bit too much, it might be a bit overwhelming, but that's still my responsibility because it still needs to be managed. But I take that as like kind of my baggage and my problem. And then for example, when clients like do leave, it's something what like proper cripple me. And it's like, don't get me wrong, if you've got 30 clients, or say for example you've got, for me, if I've got 50 businesses or you've got 150 clients or whatever on that side, like that's absolutely fine, because it's still quite personal at that point. Right? When you've got 600 clients and I've got 300 clients, for example, it's not as personal anymore. It's business, and clients are going to leave. And if you're coming in, and for me, that's why I sat there going like, I can't be getting like upset and triggered by things not going absolutely perfectly all the time, because that's actually going to inhibit what I want to achieve kind of long term.
It's the only way I can describe it is like being obsessed with everything that I'm doing. Like I'm obsessed with trying to make sure the service is the best, obsessed with the growth of the business. And when you see it like sort of stagnate, or it doesn't feel like it's moving the way you want it to, that's where I get that kind of level of like, shit, something's going wrong, something must be amiss. And then the problem is then I go looking for it. I go looking for the problem. So I'm like analysing everything and pulling it all apart and, you know, where can we do this better, where can we do that better? And sometimes I just need to, probably like you can now, just understand that it doesn't have to go perfect all the time, but, you know, even those periods of time are leading to periods of time of growth and a little bit more elevation. Especially
when, like we were saying with me changing coaches, like sometimes they want to learn something new from a different coach, and that's we need to understand.
Yeah, normal, isn't it? Yeah.
If it's to do with the service, that's when it's probably a bit like, oh.
I genuinely. The thing is, I've worked with people before where I've turned around and gone, right. Often it's like, right, I need you to hire a staff member in that spot. But if I generally don't know something, I'll just say that's not in my bag. So I'm going through something at the moment with kind of hybrid coaching and hybrid clients where people are coming to me and asking, right, for example, or I'm taking them on, like, right, what's the best way to deliver this? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Yeah. I'll do my best to kind of find out, but I know what apps are best for that. I know what best approaches for this. But when it comes to like a different style of training or even, if, for example, a different business, I'm like, look, we've got to work together to work it out, or you need to go somewhere else and obviously find that information out.
Yeah. I guess sometimes with stuff within coaching and that as well, there's going to be things you've never ran into before, so you don't have the answer right now, but then you can kind of derive what the best approach to it is, and then that becomes like kind of the standard then moving forward.
Yeah, it's just about kind of coming in and understanding that not everything is going to move forward perfectly all of the time, and sometimes people are going to kind of leave, sometimes that you're not going to be on top form, or exactly like we've kind of put here, you've got two people within the same business, but you've got two totally different characteristics, two personality traits, approaches, kind of what they enjoy and what they don't enjoy, and it's about kind of just making it work and just doing what's right for you. Because I have to. But one thing I've learned in particular over the last 6 months is that I have to approach conversations, and I've done loads of stuff like this before, so I should know. But like when I started building the team really fast, and I was like, it was almost like I was tripping myself up having to hire, because the business was scaling that fast. I had to hire before jobs were even there. But what you got to take into account is you're not just hiring a pawn on a chess player. You've got loads of different players, right? And they need different types of feedback, different bits of information, and it's about, so for example, like how I'd approach a conversation with Hannah on her business is totally different to how I'd approach it kind of with Cam. Because I'd be turning, say for example, if it comes to Hannah, I'd be like, straight away when she was talking earlier, I said, well, what do you want to achieve? What do you think about this? Whereas Cam, I'm like, get this fucking done. Or, you know what I mean? Or for example, why is that not done? A lot of the time.
A lot of the time it's, why is that not done?
He walks off like, Ben's on my case with this.
I literally walk around like, fucking, I need thingy to worry up with this, because Ben's on my arse about that. That's what I walk around the flat saying.
No, it's sound. Right, well, I'll wrap it up there, because we've got the next one on now. Because I want to keep these around 35-40 minutes, because do you know the reason why is I never watch a podcast above.
No, I think that 30-minute mark's like perfect. Yeah.
You start dragging it on,
it just
you just start talking about the same stuff and over again. So obviously new one, Hannah on the show. Return of the Mac is obviously, that was good, that one.
That was it. You didn't even mean to do that. Let's be honest. That was not planned.
Return of the Mac is back and he's absolutely flying, and I'll be catching up with Hannah to start focusing on her stuff very soon. So thanks for coming on.
Wicked.